Do you have uncontrollable emotions? Do you have random spasms and seizures? You may qualify for a new nervous system for little or no cost to you, as long as you use term life insurance.
It sounds like the right thing for me.
So basically, the nervous system controls the senses. It coordinates all movement, thoughts, and sensations that you experience. The nervous system also communicates info between your brain, spinal cord, and other tissues. It also coordinates and regulates involuntary functions like breathing, heart rate, blood pressure, and body temperature. Here's Dr. Farnan to get into more detail. Dr. Farnan, tell us how the nervous system works so we can determine what's wrong with Karen.
Okay, let's get started with the brain.
Sounds great.
The brain is like the microprocessor in a computer. The brain consists of 5 sections: the cerebrum, the cerebellum, the brainstem, the pituitary gland, and the hypothalamus. The cerebrum is the biggest part of the brain. It makes up 85% of it. This is the thinking part of the brain and controls the voluntary muscles. There are 2 halves on either side of the brain. The left half controls analytical, mathematical, and logical parts of the brain. The right half controls perception of music, colors, and shapes. The cerebellum is at the back of the head. It is the size of 1/8 of the cerebrum. The cerebellum controls balance, movement, and coordination. The brainstem is beneath the cerebrum and in front of the cerebellum. The brainstem connects to the rest of the spinal cord. It also controls all functions of your body that needs to stay alive, like breathing, digesting, and circulating blood. The pituitary gland is very small. It's only the size of a pea. The main function of the pituitary gland is to produce and release hormones. It also controls blood sugar levels and the metabolism. The last of the 5 main parts of the brain is the hypothalamus. This is like your inner thermostat. It controls sweating and shivering. You could also be having problems with your amygdala. This is a small bunch of cells on either side of the brain that controls emotions.
That's a funny word. What does it mean?
This word is Latin for almond. That's how big this part of your brain is. Interactions between the nervous system and other body systems is vital for your well-being.
What problem areas do you think Karen is experiencing?
Well, now we see that Karen has poor posture, so this must mean that her receptors in her muscles aren't giving her the information it needs to tell them where they need to move. This is what she should look like.
Wow, clearly there's something wrong with her receptors. One last question about interactions. Why can't she seem to eat or drink anything properly?
Well, this could be a serious problem. Eating and drinking is essential to a person's health. The brain controls these behaviors, so you really have to make sure you don't end up like Karen. The brain gives the digestive system the information it needs to work properly.
So what does the spinal cord do then?
Well, the spinal cord is the main pathway for information connecting the brain and the peripheral nervous system. The spinal cord is protected by the spinal column. It is made up of 31 segments. There are 8 cervical, 5 lumbar, 5 sacral, and 1 coccygeal. A pair of spinal nerves exits from each segment of the spinal cord. The spinal cord is 40 to 45 centimeters long.
Wow, seems important.
I learned about nerves when I was in school, but I kind of forget. What did they do again?
That's a great question, Karen. Well, your central nerves connect areas within the brain to the spinal cord. Your nerves sense what's going on around you and send that information to your brain. Peripheral nerves control your reflexes. Your afferent nerves conduct signals from the sensory neurons to the central nervous system. Efferent nerves conduct signals from the central nervous system along motor neurons to their target muscle and glands. In short, afferent nerves let you see, hear, taste, smell, and feel your surroundings. Efferent nerves give your muscles the information they need to move your body where it needs to go. Neurons are surrounded by a cell membrane. Neurons have a nucleus that contains genes and other organelles. Neurons also carry out basic cellular processes. Neurons are different than nerves because they have specialized extensions called dendrites and axons. Neurons communicate with each other through an electrochemical process. Communication of information between neurons is accomplished by the movement of chemicals across the synapse. The synapse is a small gap that separates neurons.
I learned so much today. You two are great. I'm gonna go get myself a new nervous system.
Wow, I wish we knew a few more interesting facts. We have a couple minutes left for our guest speaker to tell us some. See you later, Dr. Farnan. I'll wrap it up for you.
Bye, thanks for having me.
I've got some great facts for you today. These facts are so cool. There are more nerve cells in the human brain than there are stars in the Milky Way. Let's see. As we get older, our brains lose about 1 gram per year. There are about 13,500,000 neurons in the human spinal cord, and there are 1 billion neurons in your brain alone. The weirdest one yet. Newborn babies lose about 1/2 of their nerve cells before they are born.
Okay, haha, yes, great facts. So if you need a new nervous system, please remember, call 180, don't call. Please note you must have term life insurance. I am a non-doctor paid spokesperson.